The mind is a very powerful tool. It controls our thoughts, our feelings, our decision making, and most importantly, it keeps our bodies in control. Everything you say or do both consciously and unconsciously starts up here. As physical as sports are, the mental aspect of it is equally as important, perhaps even more important. Sometimes a match can already be decided before it even starts, just off of the mental aspect alone. If you can get into your opponent's head, you have quite a big advantage over them. One of the ways people achieve this is through taunting. Taunting can be seen throughout every sport. It's actually so impactful that there are strict rules around how much you can do it, and overstepping those boundaries can result in penalties for you or your whole team. But with that being said, taunting isn't just something humans do. The animal world uses taunts all the time, mainly to survive. Some animals will often make themselves look bigger to intimidate their enemies, and others will display bright colors like red or yellow as a warning to others that they are dangerous. But in terms of sports, there are mainly two different ways people taunt their opponent. The first way is through intimidation. Trash talking, appearing tough, basically anything you do with the purpose of instilling fear is intimidation. The second way is through irritation. Getting under your opponent's skin by mocking them or not taking the match seriously can really annoy your opponent. Interestingly enough, the boundaries for taunting aren't as strict in esports, at least for fighting games. Maybe it's because it's not a physical sport, but that's not to say people don't get physical. With how much trash talk is embraced in the FGC and gaming in general, it would be very hard to restrict something that has been a part of the culture since the beginning. But today, I want to focus on taunts inside the game, specifically ones that can physically impact it. If you want to see more videos like this, then make sure to subscribe. It's free and it helps the channel out. Something really interesting about Street Fighter 3rd Strike is that the taunts have actual effects that alter the game. Most games incorporate taunts that either don't physically do anything, or their damage is so minimal that you would never use the move anyways. But each character in 3rd Strike had a unique taunt that changes their stats. This makes taunting in that game kind of useful besides mental damage. For example, Q's taunt increases his defense significantly. You can stack it 3 times per round, and the effects reset at the end of each round.
Alright,
12's taunt allows him to be invisible until he blocks, gets hit, uses a super, or taunts again to reappear. Chun-Li's taunt is really interesting. Overall, what it does is increase her stun gauge recovery, which can also be stacked like Q's. But she has 3 different animations that can trigger, and each one gives a different bonus effect. If she cracks her neck and says, her attack power increases for all of her moves except for throws. If she rubs her shoulder, her defense increases. And finally, if she stretches her back, both her attack and her defense increase. Now, I couldn't make this list without mentioning Among Us Arena. I know I did recently make a video about it, but something I didn't really go into was the taunts. For the most part, a lot of them don't do much. But there's one that is arguably one of the best taunts I've ever seen. You may know of the yellow crewmate meme from a while back when Among Us was at its peak. Well, this meme was perfectly used for the yellow crewmate's taunt in-game. What makes it even better is that the taunt has a hitbox and is basically a special move that hits 3 times consecutively. So if you spend a bit of time in training mode, you'll be able to hit the infamous butt loop. Another honorable mention from this game is the white crewmate, whose distraction dance taunt hits anywhere on screen. Moving on to something else that is kind of somehow Among Us related, Big Band. I'll explain. As you know, Big Band from Skullgirls is an amalgamation of various instruments, one of those being the trumpet. Big Band's trumpet can play notes, and I'm not just talking about a few notes. It can play a full scale just like a real trumpet can. Here's what the notation looks like. Heavy punches C, light, medium, and heavy punches C sharp, light and heavy punches D, medium and heavy punches D sharp, light and medium punches E, light punches F, medium punches F sharp, heavy kick is G, medium and heavy kick is G sharp, light and medium kick is A, light kick is A sharp, and finally, medium kick is B. Put in enough band practice and you can do something like this. The best part is that you can use it between combos for maximum disrespect. Dan is one of the most notable joke characters in fighting games, so you know he had to be on this list. The character itself is technically a taunt because he was originally made to poke fun at SNK since their character designs were similar to Capcom's, so they decided to give Dan Rio's clothing and Robert's hair. Even some of Dan's moves are strikingly similar. Since Dan is a joke character, taunts are literally built into his moveset. His V-Skill 1 move in the air looks and kind of sounds like a Mario move. But what makes Dan the ultimate joke character is his legendary taunt super. He has an alternate super that costs all of your meter and does 0 damage, but you do get it back if you finish it. He's had it ever since his first appearance in Alpha, and over the years it has slightly evolved. In the latest game he's in, Street Fighter V, there's actually an incentive to let Dan finish his taunt super, because if you do, you can instantly kill him.
Can you keep up?
Because most fighting games are 1v1, you rarely get the chance to see interactive taunts that involve multiple characters. But since Brawlhalla has a 2v2 game mode, they've implemented team taunts so you and your teammate can celebrate together. Alternatively, you can also use it to be friendly with your enemies or trick them. Some of my personal favorites are Neon Drive and the classic team photo. If you've played the BlazBlue series, you know that characters can do what is known as a rapid cancel. Rapid cancel is a mechanic that allows the player to instantly recover from almost any move at the cost of half of your meter. This can be really useful for extending combos and in situations where you throw out a move that is super negative and has a lot of active frames. Because of this mechanic, you can rapid cancel your taunts into other moves. Now at face value that doesn't really seem useful, like why would you taunt in the middle of a match and then spend 50% of your meter on top of that? But as dumb as it sounds, you can get some use out of it. You can use it to bait people with your taunt and then punish them afterwards. It can make for some really disrespectful interactions. Now I want to give out some honorable mentions. These taunts didn't make the list because they don't have any physical effects, but they're just too good to ignore. First we got Sonic's taunt from Smash Bros. I know just hearing that line triggers some bad memories for some of you. Also shout out to Naga, who goes on a minute-long rant about how nutritional onigiri is, making it one of the longest fighting game taunts ever.
This is an onigiri, a nutritious food that has been eaten in the Far East since ancient times. I can tell you more about onigiri when we have a free moment.
So yeah, that's my list of useful taunts. Which one was your favorite? I think mine was definitely Big Band's trumpet. Being able to play a full range of songs is a really cool idea for a music related character. Let me know in the comments which taunts you think should have been on this list. I want to know what yours looks like. As always, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, join my Discord to hang out with us, follow my Twitter for updates, check out my Twitch for live streams, and also if you want to support the channel and also get some bonus content out of it, you can head over to my Patreon. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.